guys, it's Lindsay. We are going to do the air sign reading for May 2026. As always, if any of these messages don't align for you, please take only what you need and leave the rest. This is a group reading. Not every message is going to be for every person. I have 3 decks in front of me. And before we get started, the first message that was coming out was being over-prepared, air signs, being over-prepared, okay? I'm over-prepared with these 3 decks. I feel like we're ready for anything, right? Ready for anything. We're going to start with the general reading off the top. Ready for anything. This is the 9 of Wands. We are ready for whatever could happen, any possible scenario. And on one end, that's great, right? On one end, it's like that Girl Scout mindset, be prepared, or the Boy Scout mindset. But on the other end, it can be too much. If you're always prepared for anything and everything, you're always thinking about a way out, right? So this is this kind of energy that we're working with in May 2026 is almost a level of over-preparedness, okay? I'm going to do one more card for the general reading because I feel like there's one more card that wants to come out for the general, and then we'll go into the regular reading. I might also redo the earth signs reading because sometimes readings just don't hit right for me, and if they don't hit right, I'm like, okay, we're gonna do another one. And that's just me, you know, trying to be as authentic as a reader as I can for you guys, you know, try to tap in and get those messages. And if the messages do align, please, you know, let me know in the comments, comment. I do like to receive feedback. Okay, card number 2 for the general reading. Okay, this is interesting because we have the 9 of Wands, and then we have the Queen of Swords. Okay. So the Queen of Swords is the mind. And again, we're talking about over-preparedness, possible over-preparedness. And the Queen of Swords is like the thinking part of it, the overthinking part of it, the exhaustion part of it, the trying to get into every little like nook and cranny of possibility and doing too much. That's what these 2 cards together say to me, air signs, is doing too much, right? Okay, so let's go into Aquarius first. We're gonna try and get a clear message for Aquarius off the bat. Doing too much. And I'm hearing Aquarius, why can't I? Why can't I? And it's almost like, you know you have the capabilities, right? You know you have the skill set. You know that you are prepared. You're prepared more than anybody. But you just can't get over that hump, right? So that roadblock that you're in, why can't I? More skills, more preparedness, more awareness than anybody else. And yet here you are, okay? Well, let's check in. Almost got a 2 for 1, yes. 10 of Wands, 10 of Wands. I'm trying not to get the glare for you guys. 10 of Wands. So you see she's carrying the wands on her back. Now we started in the general reading with 9 of Wands, and now we're at 10 of Wands. And 10 of Wands is like right before you know, you have to drop something and go, basically, because you can't keep holding all that weight, okay? Let's see. And it's interesting the way this is coming through, Aquarius, too, because I feel like not only do you have the knowledge and skills to get over that roadblock, right, that you've been dealing with, that you've been coming up against, you have the knowledge and skills, but there's also like this innate knowing, okay, and like in your spirit, in your soul, that you're going to get over it, that you're going to achieve what you want to achieve. And that adds to the tension. Every time you hit the roadblock, you're like, I know that I should be getting past this. On every level of my being, I know that I should be getting past this thing and achieving what I want to achieve. So what is going on, right? And it's really like Aquarius, there is nothing more that you could possibly do, okay? There's nothing more. There's no more steps that you can take from your very human perspective in order to move yourself forward, right? Because you pushed yourself to the point that you can physically, mentally, and emotionally to get yourself up and over there, and it's still not moving. So then that asks the question, why is it not moving? And I think the part of this Aquarius that, you know, we, as a fellow Aquarius, we have to start working on is the act of co-creation, okay? Is not just the action itself, but it's the belief that the universe is co-creating with you, and that, you know, these things are coming in for you, for us, right? Because constantly, Aquarius is the mind. Swords is the mind. The constant figuring out of things, the constant of thinking of every possible outcome. At a soul level, I feel like, you know, both you and I know that we're doing too much. Right? And a lot of that doing too much is the lack of trust in the universe, the lack of trust in the grand scheme of things, right? So Aquarius is so smart. And I say this not with ego, but like with Aquarius in general, are known for being highly intelligent, okay? But the problem with that, the drawback of being highly intelligent, is thinking that you know better, okay? In most situations, okay? And I think in a lot of situations, Aquarius, we do know better because we inform ourselves, right? We inform ourselves, and we know the information, and that's our special interest, is knowing the information, okay? But when you're going up against the universe, all that is known and unknown, and thinking that you know better about how to get over that roadblock, thinking you can figure the way out the best way, better than the universe itself, that's where the problem comes in. So now we're talking about trust. We're talking about Aquarius relinquishing their no better attitude, our no better attitude, because I'm included in this. Relinquishing the no better attitude and allowing a space for trust. And that's the biggest and scariest step. That's the one step in all of this Aquarius hasn't taken, is allowing a space for trust. Because when you allow the space for trust, that means you have to stop thinking, right? And Aquarius doesn't want to stop thinking, because in a way that's the safety net. This is your safety net, is the thoughts, okay? So let's see what happens. What happens if we let go and just allow the universe to bring what we want to us, instead of thinking of every possible outcome? What is going to happen, Spirit? Where are we at in May 2026? I'm hearing let's not split hairs, okay? Because the other thing that's coming through is almost like bartering with the universe, Aquarius. If I do this, you'll do this. if I make this leap, you'll do this. And like striking an intellectual bargain with the universe. And the universe is like, stop splitting hairs. You're getting what I'm giving you. And you're getting what you need. And you're still holding on to the thinking part of it. You're still holding on to the control part of it. Okay? So the practice that's coming through as the message for May 2026 is the letting go, is the trust, is, and how do you practice that in real life, Aquarius? How do you practice that? You practice that through breathing. You practice that through being in your body. You practice that through allowing outcomes without putting a specific weight on every outcome, okay? The other thing that I'm seeing is kind of like going out of your comfort zone. So a way that I practice trust with the universe is I will just drive somewhere without knowing where I'm going, okay? And that's both getting out of my comfort zone, and that is also practicing trust in the universe. So I want you to try things like that, because what we're getting into, the reason, again, we keep coming up against this roadblock, because for all intents purposes, this roadblock is ourself. The devil for me, anytime I read, is the mind. The devil in the mind. It's not this external entity that is here to harm you. It is you when you harm yourself, either intentionally or unintentionally, and that is the devil. And that's how I've read the devil for like 7 years. So to get this in this reading is only confirmation that it's time to get yourself out of that control through the mind. It's time to practice things that bring allowance into your life and that open to the possibility without controlling the possibility, Aquarius. And that is your May reading, okay? So now we are going to go into, let's go into Libra, okay? I was going to say Gemini, but I was like, no, Libra is coming forward. So again, similar thing with the general reading. We're going to go back and recenter to the general reading. We have our Nine of Swords and we have our Nine of Wands and Queen of Swords, excuse me. Libra for May 2026. In the same way, Libra, you are, wise. Air signs is the mind, is wisdom, is that type of, that's how air signs interpret the world, is through the wise, is through their intellect, right? And for Libra, Libra's always given me more of a grounded air sign energy, but we're getting, in the same way that Aquarius that was coming up against the same roadblock, Libra, you are going in a circle, okay? Over and over and over again, you're going in a circle. And you're circling back to things, places, and people that no longer suit you, and that is where your thought process is, right? Because you want to live in the state of possibility. You want to live in the state of, the outcomes that could be, and you prepare for these outcomes, but your safety net is actually circling back to things that are familiar to you, okay? And the way that Aquarius tries to control things through their thought, and controlling the outcomes through their thought. Similarly, you do, but you circle back to things that are familiar to you. And that can also be people too. So I feel like you've been circling back, Libra, to people who are familiar to you, even if you know that they are not good for you. So you're getting back those relationships, those friendships, those family members that you're like, let me try again. Third, fourth time, let me try again, let me reach out, let me see if I can fix this. Because Libra, in many ways, I feel like you're a fixer. And if something is not, and I said this to Sagittarius too, if something is not tied up in a pretty bow for you, if you don't feel like it's done, you will go back and you will try to fix it. And in many ways, many times, it makes it worse, and you already know this intellectually, but you're like, it's like this innate drive. I need to fix the situation. I need to make everything okay, okay? So in May, we're doing the devil again, air signs. Wow, devil in the mind. Libra, your challenge is not going back to fix things. Your challenge is just letting things be. Your challenge is not reaching out to those people. Your challenge is just letting them be as they are. And for many of you, I feel like this is romance. Like, I feel like you just go back to fix these people. And they don't want to be fixed. And that's the thing. You're trying to make them into someone that they are not at this time, or they will never be. They just don't have the capabilities, okay? So you need to get out of your mind and stop circling back and being like, I can fix this person. I can fix this situation. Sometimes the fixing is in the leaving. Sometimes the fixing is in the not circling back. Sometimes the fixing is in like the very pattern breaking, Libra, of that circling back and being like, no, it's enough. Because you know deep down that it's only hurting you at this point, right? You know how they're going to act more than likely. You know what the outcome of that situation is. You know the possibilities, like we're talking about in the general reading, because you've quite literally done it before, over and over and over again. So you know exactly how it's going to go. And it's like this deluding thing where you're just, and I'm going to be honest with you, that's literally what it is. Because in some ways, I feel like you so badly want to see the good in people, and you will delude yourself into seeing the good in people, okay? Instead of seeing the good in yourself and choosing yourself and being like, you know what, they've taken the good from me every time. Every time I've gone back, they've taken the good from me. Every time I've gone back, they've taken the good from me. And there's the Ten of Swords, and there you are. Because not only does it hurt to know that you went back and tried to fix the situation, it doubles the hurt because you went into a situation that was not good for you, knowing it was not good for you. And it's like the outcome that you expected but didn't want to acknowledge happened. Okay? So now is the time to acknowledge, you know, it's just not going to work. Right? Because who are you really going back for? Because you're not actually going back for them. You're not actually going back for the situation. You're going back for you to feel better about the outcome yourself. Okay? So why don't we start about the point where you just feel better about the outcome without going back. You're just like, okay, this is it. This is it. I feel good. That's it. And just make that decision, okay? It's like Aquarius needing to co-create with the universe and making the decision to trust in the universe. You need to make that decision to accept the outcome that has already happened and take the goodness for yourself instead of bringing it back to that person or that situation who is, they're not capable. It's not going to happen, okay? And I do think, like, once you learn this lesson, Libra, you're going to really learn this lesson, and you're going to get it, and you're not going to be putting yourself back into situations where you know you shouldn't be, okay? And that's what this May 2026 energy is about for you, is that lesson, okay? Okay, we are going to get into Gemini. We're going for, like, some heavy-handed messages. That's okay. That's okay. We can take it. Gemini. And here, Gemini, I don't want to take it. I don't want to take it. And Gemini almost has, like, this tinge of anger and or agitation to them, okay? Gemini, interestingly enough, the same way that Libra as an air sign reads as an earth sign to me, Gemini reads as a fire sign. Gemini, I feel like, is a little bit, like, fiery in that essence. And you don't want to take it anymore, Gemini. You don't want to take it, okay? And similar to Libra, you have a Five of Cups. You have the back four. the back fourth, where Libra is circling and Aquarius is hitting their road bump. Gemini, you have the back fourth, right? This is quite literally like a twin card if you see it. It's just the mirror reflection, okay? And you're not going forward and you're not going back, Gemini. So you are quite literally in the middle, which is you, because you get two and you're in the middle. And you're in the middle of what is happening to Libra and what is happening to Aquarius, where you're not going forth and you're not going back. And you are stuck. And what's coming in right now, Gemini, is instead of trying to get yourself out of this stuck energy, and this is kind of similar to Aquarius, but I feel like you're like turning this way and that, where Aquarius is hitting a roadblock. It's almost like when you leave the house and like you forget something and you have to come back even though you're halfway down the road. That's the energy that I'm getting, Gemini, is like, shit, I forgot that thing. And I need it today. Like, I can't do what I want to do without that thing. And that's literally your energy, is you have to go back to move forward, okay? Have to go back to move forward. And not necessarily in the way that Libra, has returned to people they shouldn't be with or situations they shouldn't be with. You have to go back to reassess. You also have to go back to look again at what you've learned, okay? The Star card. The Star card is an achievement card, so that's Aquarius's card, but it essentially means achievement, okay? You're going to start moving forward, Gemini, when you start looking at what you've learned and applying what you've learned to move to the next step, okay? And for you, I feel like it's a puzzle, and you like puzzles, you like solving things, you like that kind of like the psychology of solving things. And so I want you to approach what's stopping you right now in your life as a puzzle and apply your wisdom in the moves, okay? Because you have the skills to move forward and move beyond what is currently holding you back. But I really think that you keep getting stuck in this loop. Because a lot of what's coming through is trying to push through, similar to Aquarius trying to push through, okay? But there's also this weird other emphasis, Gemini, that's coming through on meeting parts of yourself that you have kind of left behind, okay? So, meeting parts of yourself that you've kind of disremembered, cut out, things like that. And bringing that wisdom into this next part of your life. And part of it, the way that it's coming in, Gemini, is actually reclaiming your joy. And I can hear you be like, what? What do you mean reclaiming my joy? Why? What does that even mean? Because we're intellectualizing again. We're not going to do that. It's almost like you feel too cool for that term. Reclaiming your joy, Gemini. You're too cool to reclaim your joy. Are you kidding? Like, reclaim your joy. Go find things that you enjoy. Do the things that you enjoy. And this, again, is how you're tapping back into that wisdom of those parts of yourself that you have disremembered. Because you're remembering what you enjoy instead of the solutions that we were talking about, right? That's your next chess move, Gemini, is remembering what you enjoy in order to move yourself forward. And stop trying to be the cool kid and just being like, finding all the solutions and not actually enjoying your life along the way, right? Because, like, the rest, that was, the bird is like confirming. I don't know if you can hear that. But just like the rest of the air signs, there is this pride in the intellect. There is this pride in the outmaneuvering. There is like intellectually outmaneuvering, right? Either other people or or the events of your life when you overcome something through the mind, right? But that disconnects you from your joy. It disconnects your ability to enjoy your life because you are always outmaneuvering the people around you. You're outmaneuvering your circumstances, all these things. And so you're not actually enjoying your life. And that's what's coming through for you, Gemini, is reconnecting to your joy. And that's the May 2026 reading for air signs. That was a lot. That was some really dense energy. I don't have anything to clear the air, but we're just gonna snap our fingers and clear the air. So, I appreciate you guys. My name is Lindsey Rose. This is Storyteller Tarot. As always, if you'd like your own reading, check out the links in bio. Otherwise, I wish you guys well.